wanted to be by myself. I wanted to be in a room with the curtains closed. I want to be wrapped up in a fetal position. And it was tough. It was tough. I didn't have time for my children. I didn't have time for my wife. I didn't have time for my family because of depression. And people will say, if you've never experienced it, well, you just got to pick yourself up by your bootstraps. Let me tell you what, bless God, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Abounding in love, let them know that you love them. I've tried to make up for that, but still, that's 2 dark years of my life that I can't get back. 2 years without a father, so to speak. But God's love toward me was still great. Through His love, I was able to get through it. That and prayers of many, many people. It was hard. And it was a slow process to get back to where I was. Why? Because of God's love. God's love was so strong, it enabled me to get through. It was His grace. I don't think it was the meds that I was on. It was His grace that got me through that. And that's the way we ought to with our children. When we see them going through a rough time, continue to pour love on them. Continue to do that. People today want to be loved. And it means so much for my kids to call me. Hey, Daddy, I love you. Happy Father's Day. Daddy, I love you. Happy Father's Day. Hey, Dad, can you pick up my son? But I know. We like to hear the words. My mom and dad were totally opposite. Mother was always complimenting me. Hey, you got your shoes on the right feet. Hey, you're 15. It's about time, I could probably count on one hand the number of times my dad bragged on me or said, I love you. And I thought, hey, it's just like what he used to say when I was your age. So I've tried not to use that when I was your age, but I try to show the love that God has showed me, that my mother showed me, that I passed on. Because there's going to be a time, I may get ahead of myself, we're not going to be around. There was a song out many, many years ago, some of you may know, called The Cat's in the Cradle, Jim Croce. And it talks about a little boy growing up with his dad and said, Dad, let's go play catch. Well, son, I can't. I've got to work overtime. Time would pass. Dad, well, son, I can't. But we'll get together. I promise, we'll get together. We'll get together. And the boy develops as he gets up in teenage year. Well, finally the dad retires. Now he's got time. He calls his son. He said, hey, son, let's get together. Well, Dad, no. The new job's a hassle. The kids are in school, and I just can't. And then as he finishes the song, he said, I've realized my kid grew up just like me, that he didn't have time. And that's what I look back on. I wished that I could have spent more time with my kids. But we're busy. We're busy. During your teenage years, I was teaching full-time. I was coaching full-time. I was pastoring church full-time. I was starting to get involved in the radio. I didn't have time for my kids. And you look around and here they are, all adults. Abound in love. Show them that love while you have the opportunity, because you're going to blink and they're gone. Third thing I think you need to do, fathers, you got to direct their paths. Direct their paths. Doesn't the Bible say, train up a child in the way he should go? Because what's important to you is going to be important to your children. Our kids don't follow our advice, they follow our examples. And what you do speaks so loudly, sometimes I can't hear what you're saying. It is amazing. We don't like people to take advantage of our kids. But you know what? Sometimes it doesn't bother us when Satan does that. Very slyly, very under the cover, so to speak. And we always try and take care of our kids. We take them places, make sure you go to school, got your homework, you got this, you got that. Make sure they're involved in different things. But Sunday school